When I first set off on the road, I really had no idea what I was going to do. I had no preconception of traveling cross country or doing any of that. But it was an attempt to become completely independent. A little backstory involves the fact that I'd gone to art school for about four and a half years and had not graduated. Dropped out of that, had been in a little minor trouble with like marijuana charges, had done some probation for that, and most of that was basically living at home with my parents and they're being aware of it and working on my own while I was there. But everything coming to a boil at home and my failing at school and other reasons was like, this is do it or die time. You gotta go off and make it. You can't depend on anybody else. And so when I left that halfway house, it really was an attempt on my part to become completely independent, not rely on my parents or my brothers or anyone else. It was significant that I didn't get in touch with my parents or anybody for, I think it was a couple of months, maybe 3 months, before I finally called home and let my parents know where I was at. My friends who live in Richmond tell the story, finally remembering the story of my brother, my older brother, calling them and grilling them to get the information about where I was at and find out what was going on. He was convinced they were hiding me and that it was some kind of big scheme or something, I don't know. And I'm sure I could have been guilty of something like that, so it's an obvious deduction on his part to think that they may have done that, but it's kind of humorous now looking back on it. Here they were getting blamed for something they had no part in, and I was just off trying to find myself, not really trying to worry people, but at the same time I just didn't want to confront them or be confronted and have to explain and tell them what I was doing, and I just went out and did it. I just figured either I can make it or I won't, and if I don't, then maybe I'd end up back at home. But I didn't want to do that unless that was the last resort